Welcome, yes, welcome everybody around the world, all the listeners, all the viewers who are right now watching us, listening to us. We are really happy, really glad. This is Uzi Pinto welcoming you. I am going to be your host for the rest of the program, as well as Sarah and Sister Olga.
Come on. You almost forget my name.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Olga. I'm sorry. Well, thank you very much for coming to this program. Thank you, Sarah.
Amen. No, it's a privilege to be here, and it's always a good time to enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. You said the right word. It is a good time to enjoy. And Sharing Gladness is all about happiness, all about rejoicing, all about smiling and have fun. Because, well, the world doesn't need more negative things.
Right.
And you don't want to listen to bad news. But I bet you would like to listen to inspiring things, encouraging things,
Yeah.
as we have brought today.
Yes, we want to speak about those daily things that sometimes all of us have to face.
Yes?
All of us sometimes struggle with, but we can learn from them as well.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. It is a learning process. Life is a complete, huge, enormous learning process. We will
Right.
never stop learning,
Till
right?
the end.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very nice. I think is one of the most enriching experiences, trying to learn from everything we live, we face, we cry for, because sometimes we cry as well.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
even men, not just us.
Come on,
That's
Sarah.
true.
Ah,
I like that introduction.
how is that?
Yeah, I want to speak something about that, roles at home, and
Okay,
sometimes we
okay.
struggle with them. Some people say the woman shouldn't do this or should do
Oh,
that.
okay.
And today, I think Sarita
Oh
is
my
an
goodness.
expert on
Oh
that.
my goodness, that sounds like polemic. That sounds controversial.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Get
Okay,
ready.
so the thing is that we're going to learn, we're going to enjoy, and we're going to do it right now. Let's start.
Right. So, Sarita, let's go straight to the point.
Okay.
For how long have you been married?
I have been married for 13 years now.
13.
Yes.
So you got married when you were
23.
very young.
Well, not that young because, well, here in
Well,
Colombia,
yeah,
in
young.
some like states,
Mm-hmm.
years ago, people used to get married like girls being 15,
Oh,
Wow.
yes,
16.
definitely.
You're
and,
right.
and sometimes the men were like very much older
Yeah, like 30.
than them.
So the
10,
difference
15
was-
years
double
more than
the
them.
age.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Scary.
If you had to describe your happy life as a married woman, well, I think it is a happy life.
I want
Let's
to
see.
think that it is happening.
Yeah. If you had to choose 3 words to describe that type of life you have had during the last years, what would be them?
I think one of them would be cooperation.
All right, cooperation, number
Highlighted.
1. Uh-huh.
Cooperation.
Yes. Patience also.
Okay.
And maybe what could I say? It could be like time, like
All
Quality
right.
time?
sharing.
Quality time.
Yes.
Quality time.
Yeah.
All right. And have you always been working at home, or have you gone to work, at an office, a company, most of your time?
Yeah, no, it has been mostly at home. At first, at the beginning, when we got married and we went for the honeymoon, it was like multi-purpose.
A combination.
I have heard that story, and it's really funny and
Because
and
I had
interesting.
just graduated. Well, I had to graduate, but I
Uh-huh.
still had to do my practice.
Oh.
So it was like traveling and taking advantage to do my practice in a hotel there in
Correct.
the San Andres Island, and at the same time, like, let's do,
So since
like
your
work
honeymoon,
and honeymoon
yeah,
and what else?
from that exact
And
moment,
church.
cooperation started.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Definitely.
So Oscar was staying at home. It was like we went to stay by the pastors there.
Uh-huh.
there was a room there. So he
So he was like a
not
co-pastor?
working. He couldn't work or anything because of the
papers.
permissions and things.
Right.
So he was staying at home. He was washing the clothes. He was like doing the things.
Wow. For how long?
It was like about 3 months.
Really?
Yeah. And I was going out to work, and I came home like exhausted.
You didn't
It was
want to
because
do
I couldn't
anything.
sit down at work like 5 minutes, anything. It was
Wow.
very, very tough.
So I think it was weird.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, for a married man, and then the first thing he's doing is everything you were supposed not to.
In your honeymoon, imagine.
Wait. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying
You were supposed not to do?
No. I just wanted to clarify that because most of the time here in Latin America, we men, we tend to have this
Concept.
in our mind that women are always supposed to be doing everything at home, like
Yeah. Chores.
every chore.
Equals women.
Exactly. And yes and no. I think it comes to a balance, and you have to see, like the rules at home, like how is everything going to be managed.
Yeah,
For
depends on the
instance,
circumstances.
exactly. That was exactly what I wanted to say. It depends on the circumstances. For instance, in your case, it was a kind of working honeymoon, and he had to adapt and be patient and cooperate with you. And wow, he did it.
And it was great for both of you, I guess.
Yes,
It worked.
Uh-huh.
it worked.
All right. So, well, Sarita, after that, during this 13 years, how has it been, that process of sharing the chores and the quality time and all of that? Why did you decide to stay at home?
Oh, okay. Good question. I always thought and said that although I was good at studies and I loved to be like excellent and first place in, at school and things like that,
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted like to take care of my children if I got married and had children. So
Okay.
that was like very clear from since I was teenager, a youngster, and that's why I decided to stay at home. My dad told me you should study, you should do your university studies in case you need them, because it depends on the circumstances.
Okay. But that wasn't your priority to dedicate your
no.
life to that career.
No, not at all.
Okay, okay.
So I knew that I had like my children as priority, and from the moment I had my child, well, I have been with him.
That's beautiful.
Indeed. Sometimes we can find in our society women not having this type of priorities, you could say.
They have.
We're not
difference.
condemning them, or we're not judging them,
Yeah.
but
this is also valid,
Yeah.
and we should respect, because
Yeah.
I have heard people criticizing those women that stay at home. And sometimes even the very same women complain and feel frustrated.
Yes.
A lot. I have heard many women who are frustrated a lot.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, for example, they got married, so they didn't study at university. And all their life they are saying, I could have studied at university. I wanted to be an
Complaining.
engineer, a psychologist, and now I am taking care of children. I have the
I'm
the
doing the
opposite
laundry.
case. I had the opportunity to study.
Why
I
didn't you do
studied,
it
I
first?
graduated, but I chose of my own will to stay with my child and take care of him.
So you planned everything in advance, and it
Well,
has worked.
those who know Sarah, they know she is a planning woman.
That's right.
Every single step she's going to take.
Even for vacation, right? She
Yeah.
likes to write everything.
Yeah, the games, like
Yeah.
from 10 to 12.
So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you are
yeah.
planning to go one day on vacation
Yeah.
with Sarita, please
You better
be
adjust
careful.
to the schedule that she's planning.
Yeah.
But Sarita, have you ever felt frustrated because you are not working with your career?
Yeah.
No, no, I have not felt frustrated. I feel that I'm doing what satisfies me the most, and I think that there are things that are a lot more important than others,
Okay.
and that's one of them. So I wanted to see my child start talking. I wanted to see him when he started walking. I want to, be with him, to like encourage him to do his homework and to be a good student, and to hug him, and to, for me, that's like a lot more important than going maybe to an office and having
Jeez.
like more money or whatever. So,
You just
yeah.
said the word money, and probably nowadays what encourages women and this
Many
wives
decisions
and
they make.
exactly is the profit that you can get and the money that you can get from working and not spending time with your
Yeah, but
baby.
sometimes that money you earn or they earn is to pay somebody to take care of their children.
Or
Sometimes it is not invested in the same children. In that what encourages them, to work a lot.
and I believe personally that in the future, me, because I am a father as well, we will regret the time we didn't spend with our baby. We will say, oh, I should
I
have.
missed.
I couldn't hack him. I couldn't make this handicraft or craft things like with him. Then we say, if I had the opportunity, but what? You decided to go to make money. I'm not saying stay at home and don't be
Or
wise.
that's wrong, or it's just we all have priorities. And
Yes. you
Well,
said it.
I have learned that there are always two sides for every single thing. So we have spoken about those nice, beautiful things Sarita has experienced being at home. But what are those difficult things, those worst moments of being there?
Well, it was more like at the beginning. So when you get married, first you're with your parents, I was with my brother, my parents. There was a lady at home also helping, and many visitors came, like from Europe or Asia. They stayed at home.
So no
And
privacy.
I was accustomed like to see people, to hear people.
Yeah.
They were telling stories
Okay.
and testimonies and things. So it was like staying then at home, because I used to go out always just to study. I was not accustomed to house chores and things like that.
All right.
So at home, I was not cooking, I was not sweeping, I was not doing those things, because there was a person in charge of doing all those things. So I was just focused
Studying.
and responsible for my studies, and I was trying to do my best. So when I got married, it was like feeling
shock.
lonely. Yes, it was a shock, because I was like locked up. I felt locked up in an
Wow.
apartment,
Goodness.
staying
Alone.
there alone. So it was like loneliness, and the change of just being like a housewife and doing the things at home. It was hard, but then you
So-
start getting accustomed.
From being served, you passed to serve.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
In my- I would like to make a parenthesis, and I think in my own experience, I remember in 2012, my parents, I was not married yet, and my parents, they had a trip. They wanted to move to another city, right there up in the coast. But I say, let me pray, because I was taking part in things here in the local church. I said, no, I'm going to pray, and I see what's best, if I go with them, if I stay here. Of course, I was like adult, like 18, 19, I guess. And I decided to stay. So
I remember a bit of that.
so I stayed. I lived for 8 months alone in the apartment. I had to do everything, and that was tiring, because anything that you would do, like for instance, cooking something, then you had to wash everything, clean everything, get everything ready, iron your clothes, wash your clothes, do the cleaning in the house,
And
as
next
well
day,
as
it
work.
feels like you didn't do anything. You have to start over again.
Every day. So I believe that helped me to understand how a wife or how a housewife feel.
So do you like cooperate or help your wife in some house chores?
I do. And
Congratulations.
And how do you feel doing that? Because some
Well, to
people
be
can
honest,
do it,
there-
but they feel terrible.
There are two situations. Sometimes I feel so happy, and sometimes I don't feel really happy.
When you
And
don't
why?
feel like that.
Well, I have decided with my wife that we split it chores. Like I can help you with this, and I can sweep and mop, and she doesn't like much to clean the kitchen like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wash
All right.
dishes. And
She hates it. So I do it. I like it. I play some music and I just wash and I clean up and everything else. I do it happily. But sometimes I do things like not really happy when I feel like my wife is wasting her time,
Okay.
or like she's not taking advantage of time, and so she's like trying to do things really slowly, like kidding me? You want me to do everything? So it is not all the time, of course, but yes, I think like if we are a team, if we have split it and we want to have a balance, then let's be like fair.
All right.
yeah.
That's the only thing.
Sarita, how much time do you need to overcome that loneliness and frustration?
I think
and
it lasted about some 6 months. It was, I cried and everything because I really felt lonely, and you know, because besides that, my dad, as he's a pastor, you know, I saw him more at home. You know, because pastors pray at home, they sit down to study, but they
Yes.
are like around.
Okay.
So he was like more at home. So it was that shock. I
Not
think
having
it was
anyone
about
around.
6 months. Yeah. Yeah.
6 months. But after that period, it started feeling better.
Yes, it's getting accustomed to everything. And what Uzi was saying, and we mentioned at the beginning, it's like in these cultures, there is a concept that from years ago, it comes like
Yeah.
from many years ago.
Many years.
Because on that time, men didn't like take a broom ever, or you know, lift
That
up
would
a
be-
baby or things
yeah.
like that. It was
No,
like
no,
that's
no.
not for men.
Yeah.
And women should, you know, cook and sweep and mop and
Do
do the
everything.
chores.
Yeah.
But it has been changing a little bit. I do the same. You know, you said you split. Well, we split. I spoke that before I got married, because I said if I don't speak things, you know.
Would you mind, Oscar, sign here?
He signed.
It means
How is
she
that?
did it.
Oh Lord,
He
a kind of
signed.
contract.
It's not a joke.
It's not. I'm not. You said I plan everything. Okay. Some people, you know, get married, and after they get married, they say, "You want to have children?" And one says, "I want to have like 12 children," and the other one says, "I don't want to have children." So
So it is really good, and we would like to take this time to tell all the audience and whoever is following us, when you're getting married, please be honest and say
and
things
speak
before.
about the important things that
Yeah.
can affect your whole life. Like,
In the
I want to
future.
be a missionary. Really? I will never go out from my country. We're married. Okay, it's
Yeah, things
Yeah.
so you can talk before you sign.
Yeah, or the woman wants to continue, you know, practicing what she learned at university,
Yeah.
working, having a
Well,
high position in a company,
you were
and the
saying it.
man is expecting the woman to stay at home.
yes, totally.
Well, at the beginning of my marriage, you're not asking, but it was sort of my situation. My wife had studied, had finished her studies, and she started to work in a clinic, and we agreed that we would share chores and that we will help each other, and it was working perfectly. Like we really understood like each other roles, and It was fine
Right.
Until
until the baby was born.
yes, that's
So-
a great change
Yeah.
in everything.
Well, but the other thing I would like our listeners and viewers to think of is that remember everything is a process, and sometimes it demands a lot of time. Sometimes situations are overcome with just
Not
couple of
much
weeks
time.
or months. So do not get stressed. Do not go to the extreme of saying, I made a mistake when I married you. This is not working.
Yeah.
I give up. No, don't give up.
Yeah,
Try
you can
to
sit down and think
persevere.
and plan things
I
also.
want to talk.
Right. Okay, go ahead. Women talk a lot,
Is that
right?
is that you said something that probably many couples have been facing or have faced once, and it's saying that I give up.
Yeah.
No,
I made a
no,
mistake when
No.
I married you.
It's not a word to think even about it.
Yeah.
Because you made a commitment before God and before your wife, and even if the world falls apart, you have to be loyal to that commitment.
Right. Giving up with your marriage shouldn't be an option.
No.
So it's not
That's-
about
move forward.
quarreling but it's about think about solutions.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's simple things like I'm tired of doing so much house chores. I get stressed, but
something.
it's not that that terrible situation. There are
Yeah.
more terrible situations like
Indeed.
health problems, for example.
Yeah.
Some people have very sick, ill children that
yeah.
cannot talk, cannot walk. That is like
Something
a greater
serious.
thing.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes
Yeah.
we get so
I believe most
dramatic.
of the times we're making a storm. And,
Yeah.
and there's
Out
nothing,
of a glass of water.
let's say.
But yes, sometimes also we have so many resources at hand and we don't use them to make life happier.
Definitely.
So let's use what we have received.
Yes, we're running out of time, and we would like to send some greetings to people around the world because, well, by the grace of God, we are reaching more and more people in different countries. In Ecuador, people are listening to us in Italy. People are listening to us in the U.S.
Yeah, here in Colombia as well.
As well, the students of the MSL, they
Uh-huh.
enjoy the program. They say they learn.
Praise
So
God.
this is a multi-purpose show.
we also learn.
Yes, indeed. And the thing is that we want to make you part of it. So please write us, write on the comment of this video, probably on YouTube or on Facebook, because this is uploaded there. Remember, you can find our channel, YouTube channel, English channel. Type in Concordia Church, and you will find all the content over there, and as well as WIIM. Well,
On
Word of
Facebook?
Inspiration on Facebook. Word of
Word of-
Inspiration International Ministries.
Yeah.
You will find
That's
us
the
there,
way.
and you will enjoy as well a lot of content that we are uploading constantly. Sarah, thank you very much for coming.
But I would like Sarah to close this program.
Okay.
Just giving a piece of advice to those ones who are going to get married or are just in the beginning of that happy life.
Well, remember to speak about important or key points that will affect your life later if you're about to get married. Don't just be stuck there saying I love you too, I love you more, I love because there are some things that you have to make clear. And remember that things are a process and that you should get rid of some concepts depending on the circumstances. It's not bad that she works or he works, or maybe he has to stay at home because he's unemployed in the moment. But just try to think about solutions
Exactly.
without being so rigid in your mental
Mindset.
concepts.
Yeah. And don't give up.
just don't give up.
Never give up. Thank you very much, beloved listeners and viewers. Thank you, Olga, for
Thank
your company
you.
as well. It is always a privilege to have you And thank you very much. Until the next opportunity, this was Sharing Gladness, and until the next show.